Lane 2, we got Kansas. Lane 3, we got Missouri. Lane 4, we got Ohio.
Yep. Welcome, everybody, to the 2025 NCASB Swimming Conference. We are here at Illinois College, who have graciously let us swim in their pool. Thank you to Coach Sykes and the IC. 200 boys, 200-yard medley relay. I'm here with my fellow LT Spears and Drake Lynch. What? Oh, I'm Gregory Orr. Listen. Can you say what?
Let me talk to you.
That's going to be a good time. We're going to have a riot over here.
Are you going to read off like the states and schools or wait for them to like get in the water?
All right, so in lane 2 we'll have Kansas. First one in the water will be Ben Webster. In lane 3 we'll have Tyler Groves of Missouri and the Missouri relay team. Fourth lane we'll have the Ohio relay team with starter Gage Esterkamp. In the 5th lane we'll have Indiana with starter Christian Correa, with Darren McCaig as the starter. And in lane 7 we will have Wisconsin, who will start with T.J. Hampton. And for anyone wondering, anyone sighted who may be watching, the lower the number, lane 1 will be the closest number or closest lane to us, lane 2, then lane 3, so on and so on to lane 8, all the way at the other end. Now, LT. Yes. You were a part of conference, the last 3 years here? Whether or not you were a swimmer or not. So what's it like right now, like right before the event? You're kind of cold. Like you had warm-ups, but you're kind of cold. What kind of is going through your, what's kind of going on at that point?
Going through my head, honestly, it's just the nerves. I'm trying to keep myself as calm as possible. Me personally, I have tons of adrenaline going through me. And they're starting.
Is Wisconsin. So, in reality, it's all about. Maintaining their speed, maintaining how fast you're going, maintaining their speed, maintaining how fast you're going.
Like my commentator Greg said, Missouri has to lead, but remember, it's not about how you start, it's how you finish. This is a full team effort. Everyone puts in their best.
Missouri has overtaken, and now Illinois has fallen to 3rd, fallen behind Ohio. We have followed by Missouri, and I believe we will about to see Indiana. And here comes Kansas, here comes Illinois, and here
could put all the pieces in one place to make it, I don't want to say be successful, but we had people that had strengths in a lot of other areas, and we want to maximize the team to the best.
Yeah, I have no idea. Here you go, back to Greg.
insightful.
I had nothing to say.
Insightful. That's why we pay him the big bucks, folks.
Definitely have a future.
His expertise may not be swimming, but he is the one controlling the camera here today. So big thanks to Drake, and big thanks once again to the IC Swim team and Coach Sykes for letting us run this event. We legitimately.
Yes, thank you to Coach Syke. But also, I'm pretty sure there's a local lake around here. We could try using that next time if we could not get the pool. But yeah.
All right, what are they getting ready for next? I thought it was girls freestyle. Is it not that? Freestyle. In lane 1, the closest lane to us, you will have Angel Potts of Indiana. In the second lane, Allie Wolk of Missouri. In the third lane, Miss Lexi of Illinois. In the fifth lane, Helena of Missouri. In the sixth lane, Micaiah Flowers of Ohio. And in the there will only be one heat of this event. I would like to remind you, lane 1 will be the closest lane. And as the swimmers prepare their mark, they do have to kind of get into a zone right now. Like, it's real noisy in here. It might quiet down right before the buzzer, but okay, and they are off. We have so far in lane 3, or never mind, that's Lexi of Illinois in lane 4 take the pool. As you see, Miss Lexi absolutely flying right now. And right behind will likely take this one with Olivia and, oh, that's not Angel. Sorry, that was Allie Wolk. My apologies. Angel Potts is about to come down from the far end of the camera. Okay, she is done. Lexi of Illinois will take first. Second, it's real close. We have Olivia of Indiana and Helena of Missouri coming up close. As you can see during freestyle, you can do almost any stroke. Really fighting over third with Olivia of Indiana. We still have Angel of Indiana, Allie of Missouri, and Jocelyn of Missouri still in the water. Of course, you don't stop. You put in all this work. You're not going to stop. You're going to keep going.
Have a good pace. You need to make sure your strokes, they stay nice and consistent.
Swam before. I'm not going to say it's a huge number, but Sparrow Sido, I'm sorry if I between the furthest lane.
Go counterclockwise, one of them go clockwise. That's where the butterfly term come from, because you know your arms are spreading out and making butterfly wing. My arms were outstretched, and this butterfly stroke, both boys and girls coming up very shortly after this break. And you know they are definitely more talented than I am when it comes to butterfly. Because I just a sport. I do not have the skill. Get a mouthful of water, because you know it's full of chlorine, and that's not the type of H2O that we should be 100 free. We still have like a 200 leads. That's where you do all 4 strokes, like maneuver, your backstroke, your butterfly, your freestyle, and your breaststroke. We've seen relays doing that. We've seen individuals into the thick of it. So I will be passing it. So I will be passing it off, and he will go over the order.
You can, unless you can't. I'm kidding. On the last part. They're pushing each other. I don't know if you can hear it on the mic, but you can hear the swimmers pushing themselves to their limits. Missouri, lane 7, pushing themselves to their limits. Missouri, lane 7, CC of Illinois, lane 8, Nadia Albrecht, Ohio. My feet.
They are really putting in the work right now. Okay, the crowd, they're really getting to it, supporting their team. Okay, they're giving it their all. The turn right there, it looks fan. No, this is heat one of. No, this is heat one of four for the boys. Four for the boys here. Okay, so we have four different heats here. Okay, so we have four different heats. If you we have four different heats. If you missed my commentary earlier, basically we have multiple heats because it is based off of commentary earlier. Basically we have multiple heats because it is based off of.
Here comes Ty Pennington, Kansas, about to finish his third 25. His third 25. One final 25 for Ty Pennington once he makes this turn. Just inches away, maybe. And there he goes.
Here, when they're supposed to go, everyone kind of getting ready. Down the starting platform, they're lining up. They might be adjusting the blocks, getting up. As a swimmer, you kind of, for me, I would take a few deep breaths.
As Josiah, Wisconsin makes his first turn. As Josiah, Wisconsin makes his first turn. As does Zachary Seifert. As does Zachary Seifert. Jackson Wood on his. Zachary Seifert. Jackson Wood on his way. Jackson Wood on his way. Michael Lafont, Wisconsin way. Michael Lafont, Wisconsin, starting his final 25. Michael Lafont, Wisconsin, starting his final 25 as well. Darren McCaig starting his final 25 as we speak. As Hayden Ashley starting his final 25 as we speak. As Hayden Ashley about to finish. All those bad ideas. But finish. All those bad ideas. But huge age range. Darren McCaig, Illinois, finishing with a time of 4:30. Good job, all swimmers.
Yeah, Greg was.
25 is Kale Lincoln, Iowa, bottom of your screen. Meanwhile, you can see maybe towards the top of your screen. You can see maybe towards the top of your screen. We have.
Okay, so I will. Okay, so I will get to that. Yes, I blow the whistle. Get to that. Yes, I blow the whistle. Everyone getting ready. Everyone getting ready. I will address Greg. I will address Greg's question real quick as we at competitive way. Question real quick as we at competitive way. If I need to beat my opponent, if I need to beat my opponent, friend come to shove, friend come to shove, you have to go out there and off to Greg, who will go over
lane 7. Isaiah McLean, 144. Lane 2, Braxton Lafferty, 150. Lane 1, Gage Evercamp. Lane 1, Gage Evercamp. 157. 157. Mitchell, Illinois, and lane 6, Jocelyn, Missouri. Mitchell, Illinois, and lane 6, Jocelyn, Missouri. Now LT's I believe has been asked to do the 500 before, and I believe he said no. Asked to do the 500 before, and I believe he said no. Now 500 yard free. It's more of an endurance test than a yard free. It's more of an endurance test than anything else. It's who finishes her stroke.
For Iowa, we have Illinois cheering for Wisconsin. We have Indiana rooting for Texas. Texas is part of the conference now. Everyone's here. We have South Dakota as a representative, and national swimming. At the local YMCA or something like that in the free time. Weightlifting. Build up some muscle mass to push the water more. So some people, it's their last swim meet. Some are graduating and going off to college. Some of them my age out of sports because in the NCASB you can do sports up to 20 final. 2022 that was my final goal ball meeting. That was my favorite game, and that was the only sport I cried on the bench for. The only sport that I was super upset that
Could be for. I believe that is for Tyler Groves, Missouri. However, it could also be for the trifecta of. Yes, it will be. It was for AJ Youngblood out of Ohio, who will finish. Well, I guess a time of 43 seconds. I believe this is Cavante coming in for his finale. Yes, Cavante finishes with a time of 9 minutes and 13 seconds. 6:18. For this event, one of the most important events of the year, as it is NCASB Conference Swimming. This event would not be possible with Tyler Groves of Missouri. Both pushing it to the very end. Here they go. They keep on going, keep on pushing. Each have different styles. One's doing a crawl over there in lane 6, Tyler Groves. In lane 2, Levi Sims going for the backstroke. In line, back and forth. Last length. Let's see who can close it out first. That's why tappers are so important. He was not aware that his race was over. He missed Adia Navarro, Nadia Albrecht, Wakaya Flowers, and Baro Saito. Lane 4, Missouri, Rachel Cohen, Helena Nachman dove in the water. Once again, an extra length for the fun of it. Back to. Okay, couple minute break while the swimmers reset after the accidental false start.
first it is 10% luck. Okay, not even gonna win. That's just the fact of it. But as long as we all try our best, that you need to be concentrated. You need to be focused on your event. Okay. Ooh, and they're getting back to the top. Okay, I'm gonna pass it back to Greg, and we'll finish our math equation in a minute.
Now after a false start like that, you know, maybe they're a little less confident, maybe a little less ready. Now they have had more time to get in their head. But these early lead, and followed by Ohio, then Indiana.
Get as close to the right side of the lane marker as possible. And at least you want to start on that side. If you want to, be in the middle a little bit, that's cool because you're the only one in your lane. Once you get to the wall, you want
maintains the lead. Not far behind the Ohio. Indiana. He loves the Buckeyes. I believe this is going to be the final 25 for Missouri. I will say about. Oh, never mind. They're not done yet. There's one more. Oops. Like I said, counting's hard. What is really interesting here is as Missouri finishes. Not yet. Not yet. He's excited. Going down to the end here. What's really exciting about swim is it's an individual team sport. So anything I'm doing, that they'll do awards and you'll find out who won the total thing. Okay, we were not streaming it. Maybe they'll post that on Facebook at the ISI Athletics Facebook. Probably. Here comes Indiana. INDAN. Alex Ingalls, Charlie Jensky, Elias Tyser. Lane 3, Missouri, Braxton Laverty, Isaiah McLean, Josiah Phoenix, and Zion Prince. Lane 4, Indiana, Christian Correa, Jordan Flatt. Off to an early lead. We'll see lane 4, Indiana. real close by. Missouri. Following that in lane 6. I still got it. Tagging in the second swimmer, you can see Missouri and Indiana have both gone to their second swimmer. Wisconsin finishing their first 25. And here comes another member of Indiana off the blocks. Of Missouri. Oh, short break there at the end of the length for Missouri. You can hear their team. You maybe hear their team kind of chirp up about that. Kansas pushing through, I believe, on their second swimmer, third swimmer, second swimmer, second swimmer, number 3. Here comes Braxton, second member, goes on for their final 25. We still have 2 more members, Wisconsin. I believe this is Evan White for Kansas. Missouri. Is that a finish? That is a finish. No, never mind. They did have one more. I was right. And that is it for Ohio, Kansas, and Wisconsin finishing up. So what you don't really see, you might not notice, is they practice exactly of watching their teammate or knowing when their teammate, communicating to their teammate exactly. Ain't that right, LT?
I say that too. Yeah, you don't want to go too early because, definitely penalty, disqualification be on the table. But also you don't want to go too late. I mean, you won't get penalized, but also your time will be team trophies because, everyone wants to bring a trophy back to their school. It brings a lot of pride whether you're in the sport or not. And, first place in the relays, you get 30 points up for grabs in this certain event, okay? And that brings a lot of pride to that particular school and the whole program and the swim team itself. I believe they're announcing the next event. And I'll give it to Greg so we know what we're dealing with here.
There was only 2 teams participating in this event. Kentucky in lane 4. Eric Colden, Caleb Robinson, Sale Curry, and Gabby Garcia. And Illinois, Brandon Davis, Darren McCaig, Kaylee Cole, and three trophies they hand out. There's boy placements, girl placements, and then team placement. And this event, I believe, only goes towards team placement.
I honestly don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing and say that's exactly correct. But maybe, they might take some points. And like I said, 30 to get the race started. We have Kentucky and Illinois. They are going neck to neck. The only 2 teams in this event. Very strong start by Kentucky. Illinois keeping pace. First swimmer of 4, okay? Just like they might be the quicker swimmer. I said fast. The fastest, they might be one of the quicker people on the relay team to get a nice league established, okay? Then you go to your middle people. This might be people that can really keep up the lead and kind of give your team a sense of security. Or if you think you might be lacking near the end, you can put in the anchor. That's like your closer in baseball, and that might be your fastest swimmer. And
Kentucky's second swimmer enters the water, finishing at 25 as Illinois' second swimmer is about to start their first 25. I think that's Eric Holden of Kentucky. That could be, I think. Not 100% sure. Kentucky about to finish their third person. Illinois about to finish their second. Left. I know I said the other 2's names, but I saw that on the camera. I saw their face. Speaking of Illinois, once again, thank you to Illinois College Swim Team and Coach Sykes for the use of their pool. Couldn't have done it without him. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As Kentucky has finished their portion of the race, Illinois with a swimmer and a half left. I mean, you never know what people believe, LT.
well,
Now you never know if there's a swimmer cut in half. This guy's crazy. No LT. The closer for Illinois is Brandon Davis. Sorry, I couldn't see who it was. I'd ask the cameraman.
Brandon showing that technique.
Brandon loves to show off his technique. Technique. He's moved on from showing us his one. We will see Isabella Estes of Texas. Lane 2, Leandrial Smith, Missouri. Sophia Peterson, Texas. Lane 3, Barrosetto, Ohio. Lane 4, Heaven Gabrielson, Kansas. Lane. And they are off. There is no lane 2. Off to a strong start. Lane 5, Evan Gabrielson, Kansas. In lane 3, coming up on a close here. We're not coming up on a close. Sophia Peterson, Texas. Lane 6, Barrosetto, Ohio. Closest lane on your screen, lane 8 for this lane. Last 25, as is lane 3, Sophia Peterson. Lane 5, Heaven Gabrielson, finished with a time of 2:49. About, I don't even know what number that is. On her second 50, Isabella Estes. 4. Barrosetto, Ohio, 350. 350. Texas for the first NCASB conference that they've attended. So welcome to them. And in a couple of and of course, Oklahoma.
Stroke coming up after this one. If you missed earlier, we have different heats because we only have 8 lanes available here at Illinois College where we are hosting conference. Things based off of time. So we just completed that. The PA announcer now, I guess, announcing the second one. The crowd getting kind of quiet so that the swimmer can hear the start. The whistle blows.
Lane 1, Jocelyn, Missouri. Lane 2, Kaylee Cole, Illinois. Lane 3, Olivia Garner, Indiana. Lane 4, Darnay Warnke, Iowa. Lane 5, Ellie Wolk. Okay. And they are off. Remember, this is the 100, or nope, that's the wrong paper. We have currently held by Danae and Jocelyn from Missouri and Illinois, respectively. Keeping up close. Ava Tabbert, Wisconsin, on the far end, in line with Kaylee. That's over in lane 6. Adia Navarro finishes her first 50. as is lane 7, Ava Tavert. And finishing lane 4, Danae Warnke. With a top, Jocelyn, Missouri, 243. Lane 2, Kaylee Cole, 256. And lane 6, or lane 7, sorry. You heard at the start of the night, maybe they were a little more excited, maybe they're more willing to cheer. But as it goes on, all of these swimmers have probably already swam at this point. Once, maybe twice, maybe even 3 times. So you still want to cheer on your teammates. You still want to cheer.
Where I'm just so nervous for my event, where I just sit and crash just because I'm waiting and waiting for my next event. And I'm just running on fumes, and all the adrenaline just wears off. And I take %. If we have a handful of events left this afternoon, and passing it back to Greg to tell us what's next on our sheet.
Of course, first finishing with a time of 4:33, Adia Navarro. Lane 5, Cooper Huey, Indiana. Lane 6, Nate Brown, Texas. You can kind of hear the dead silence come out. I would also like to mention, but they're so cold because they just got out of the pool. And after this long, you know, sometimes it gets to wear on you. I mean, maybe the first 2 hours, you're pump full. Then it starts to get a crash. And the last of it, as this heat is so far led by William Kauser, Missouri. But not too far behind. Is that the wrong one? I don't know who's in the pool right now. 100-yard backstroke men's.
Oh, right, one.
But I only have 4 people for this heat, and there's currently there's something about backstroke that is one of the first things you're taught when doing backstroke.
That happened.
But you will, yeah, you will see, if you see someone looking back, assume they either forgot or they don't remember what count they're on, or to count their strokes. I already accepted that, I just won't know. Finishing in lane 6, Nate Brown, Texas. The time of Kendon Sears, Ohio. Lane 8, Isaiah Brandon, Ohio.
So Ohio has 4 out of the 8?
Oh, yes, Ohio is in lane 1, 2, 7, and 8. For those, Drake, a diehard Ohio State Buckeyes fan. Here goes all. But not too far behind. Lane 6, Josiah Heeson. And Zachary Cipher finishing their first 25. Oh, no, I have the hiccups.
Okay, so something Greg touched on before is how, you know, if you're looking back, you know, not counting strokes. I want any injuries like that. You know, a concussion can happen. Someone could bonk their head and then, you know, like, they're, like, you know, rubbing their head and, you know, we don't want them to lose track of where they are. They could be losing time trying to turn around. So that's why during backstroke especially, since they can't look.
And fourth, lane 5, Levi Sims, 228. Isaiah Brandon about to finish, as is Kendon Sears. Not really. 4:10, I will say, for lane 7, Kendon Sears. 4. Lane 4, the Annihilator, Lexi Mitchell, Illinois. Lane 5, Sale Curry, Kentucky. Reminder, Texas's first event in the NCAS. Illinois. Right next to her left, in a close second, we have Sale Curry, Kentucky. And inching up on her there is only 3. And in lane 1, Isabella Estes. Going strong, Lexi Mitchell. Finishing her first 25. Isabella approaching her first 25, finished. Lexi about to go towards her final. Lexi Mitchell, Illinois, finishing with a time sub 2 minutes. It just says lines on my screen. So this is the first time we've seen breaststroke today. We might have seen it in the IM. We saw it in the IM, and we saw it in the medley. But this is the first time we're seeing a breaststroke event. And what breaststroke is, I mean, its name is pretty self-explanatory.
It is 4. 4 athletes can be per category, and we had 4 people in our boys 50. So I either had to do the 200 free, which is longer and I would not build up that to that endurance point, or try to someday be at the pool trying to learn this breaststroke. And I could not get it down, okay? Trying to move the arms and the legs, I could get it. I could not do it for a full 100 breaths. I could barely make 50, but that's only about how you turn. If you messed up, that could be a scratch or disqualification. So I had maybe 2-3 days in the pool. My coaches had me try it at conference in the warm-up laps. I'm like, this isn't going to go too well. Finishing up here, and Greg's going to give you her time when we get that. But, everyone putting in their best. And, they were able to complete a full 100. I couldn't even compete at conference in this event. So,
Kanseki of 3:05. I believe the time for Lexi Mitchell will not be 3 or something. I'm not sure. But I believe that time is just whatever the machine is guessing. All right. Back. Okay, granted. I think she's done back. I think she's done a crawl, and I think she's done breaststroke. Oh. Tejas. Yep. I like. I was told to actually mention every time she got wet, but I haven't seen her since the start of the show. So I don't know. I imagine she got wet at least. See Isabella Estes getting close to the end here, getting pushed on by her coach. I think that's her coach. She goes. Estes. ¿Y dónde vive? Texas. Two heats. 2 heat event. It appears as though there may only be 2 in this event. Change of plans, perhaps. Because in lane 3, we have TJ Hampton, Wisconsin. Double the Badgers. Ever been to Wisconsin, LT? I mean, I know you have, but have you ever tried like their cheese curds? Is there like Elias Ticer? They are paced. They are right next to each other. It looks like I'm watching a synchronized swim show down in the water right now.
It's one or the other.
Of course. I mean, you want to see everyone get cheered on. You want to see everyone have fun. Elias Ticer pulling ahead a little bit of TJ Hampton here.
For maybe 6 hours, and I didn't even see a football game. got a whole tour. Got to go next to the field. They didn't want us on the field. You know, some people stepped on it. Got to go like out the tunnel that the player came down. Wisconsin, A+ state. Pretty cool.
Hey, Hampton.
For the record, not a Brewers fan. Cubs gonna beat them tonight. They beat them 10-0 last night. They're gonna do it twice as bad tonight.
Elias Tyser finishes with a time of 3:09. TJ Hampton about to finish his. TJ Hampton. Yes, Heat 2. In lane 1, Josiah Phoenix, Missouri. Lane 2, Zachary Nolan, Iowa. Lane 3, Isaiah McLean, Missouri. Lane 4, Devon Poldens, Ohio. Now, LT, what's your opinion on the state of Missouri? What's your opinion on Missouri?
We'll talk about that off air.
Leading out in front so far, Heat 2, we have in lane 6, Caden Volstead, Iowa. Devon Pollins. Turn the corner at the bottom of the screen, Zachary Nolan, Iowa. In lane 3, not far behind it. Coming up on the final 50, Devon, Ohio, or final 25. Also coming up in his final 25 in lane 3, Isaiah McLean, Caden Volstead, Iowa. Finishing third, Isaiah McLean. 1:59. Finishing second, or not finishing second, in lane 2, finishing sixth, Zachary Nolan, 2:03. After this, we will see the 2 relays over the 400 freestyle between boys and girls. Cheering down for their teammate, Josiah Phoenix. You can hear the Missouri team as well as... Yeah, over there, but they're always wrong. Here we go. Probably tired. It's been a long day of swimming. A long day. It's probably...
Imagine you have parades this morning too.
Yeah, a lot of these students are prepared.
Jet lag on top of that too?
That's not how jet lag works.
What do you mean? I thought that's when you fly and you land somewhere else and you're tired.
No, jet lag is when you land in a country with like a... Maybe South Dakota is in mountain. But I know Texas. As Josiah Phoenix will finish with a time of 4 minutes, 31 seconds. Our second to last event coming up shortly. And Kavaya Turman and lane 6, Stella Alford, Olivia Garner, Shania Lee, and Angel Potts. These teams are finished for the day. Teams like Texas, I believe, are catching a flight tonight. I think. So. Here's South Dakota. All right, LT, I have a question for you. Yes. How many events do you think you could win in your state right now, not having swam in about a year?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. Consider I only of swimming, and I was on a relay team. So,
Think you win the relay?
yes, it was last year. Shout out Lucas Cooper, who was last year. Myself, Peyton Steele, who was seen this afternoon, and when I did live, who was seen this afternoon. So some members were on my relay team. One of them has retired, raised out, along with myself. So I say one.
You heard it here, folks. He thinks he could whip all these people. I'm joking. Yes, Illinois is in the wrong lane. No, they're not. Yes, no, they're not. Why is there no lane 4? What? That's not right. Anyway, lane 3, Missouri off to an early lead, followed by Illinois and Indiana in order from closest to furthest. Illinois with a good push off the wall. I believe we ran out of new swimmers within the first hour. Everyone does a freestyle, and they always start with freestyle, that's why. Everyone does one, at least. Remember, what? So at this point of the day, that could be really exhausting for these swimmers, especially, at this point of the day. At this point, a lot of them have already swam 3 events, maybe.
Got first in, obviously.
Insightful as ever, LT. Winning is always better, huh?
Definitely. But to add to what Greg said, I mean, you say you might get tired, but also these athletes know, then they know it's go time, and they know when to turn it on to do the best in their events.
As the second swimmers for both Missouri and Illinois have entered the water, still neck to neck. They'll have to listen for them or something, or maybe their coaches will help them. But for a lot of these swimmers, it's not just going to be like conference. I'm sure you might do it for fun at like a random meet. You might do it one time, pull one out, but for the most part, it requires some effort.
6th person, and they can kind of be your pinch swimmer. We've had a couple events where, or at least last year, where let's just say someone got sick, and we had, put in one of our girls that swim a different event, and because we have a different swimmer jump in, and because we think that might improve the time or something like that, and just something like that, small stuff like that takes a whole team. So you might see 4 people out in the pool, but like I said, maybe
in that time over Illinois, we have Indiana, I believe, about to have their second swimmer finish their. Missouri with their 3rd swimmer, finishing their first 25. Kavaya goes for left. I believe it will be Missouri with a swimmer and a half, and Illinois with 2 swimmers, and I think it's Indiana or.
And I did bring swim trunks, by the way. I brought them in my bag on my train ride, so if I need to get wet, I am definitely ready and able to help out the team in any way possible, even though I'm not registered or qualified.
Luckily, I think that is.
That we may have, we had a little clinic with Ohio and Missouri, and thank you so for letting us. You had a little clinic with Ohio and Missouri, and thank you so for letting us use this here today. We quite appreciate it.
Of course.
They're almost done for today. We're gonna get some dinner after this, hand out some awards. They get to socialize with their friends, but also some friends from other schools. It's gonna be a great time.
Astronauts, more like Astra-Ams. What do you say? They're like Astra-Ams. What do you say? Their final swimmer out in the water, finishing up their first 50.